Good morning. Somebody has to go back and let them know that this is echoing, please. Thank you. Thank you. Trying. Again. And I'll just talk slowly so that echo. Our hero. Good morning. And welcome to worship with the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura. I am the Reverend Dana Worsnop, minister of this open, widely embracing community of blossoming and blooming and growing community of resistance, resilience, containing multitudes. No matter how you got yourself here and into this sanctuary, on foot, on wheels, online, Zoom, YouTube, yeah. We are a community of many beliefs, identities, origins, sexualities, and genders, and all are welcome. We preface our services by acknowledging that our building rests on the unceded ancestral homelands of the Chumash peoples. This is allergies. Oh, good. So we'll see how it goes. Ancestral homelands of the Chumash peoples. We acknowledge that the ground that we rest upon is holy. It is ground that has a long legacy, ground that challenges us to bring justice to the earth and all of her peoples. I have a single announcement today. This coming Friday on May 9th from 6 to 10 p.m. and possibly later, there is going to be the first meeting of a new monthly board gaming gathering. And it'll continue going forward on every second Friday of the month. A casual, fun time. There will be lots of board games brought, and you can provide your own, I believe. And if you want to find out more about it, you can drop by and talk with Rob March, who will be at the connecting table in Burke Hall after the service. More games to play, more fun to be had in this beloved community. And so, I invite all here gathered to bring the fullness of who you are to this place. Your loving, tender, doubting, hopeful, blessed hearts as we enter sacred space.
I am Worship Associate Sue Brinkmeyer, and we invite those of you joining us from home to light a chalice or a candle as Reverend Dana lights the chalice of our free faith here in the sanctuary. We begin our service with these words from Reverend Michelle Collins. Here we are, together, bearers of imagination, creators of new worlds. It is our imagination that lifts us beyond despair, that whispers, "What if?" and dares us to answer. Today we gather to renew that spark, to embrace the power of dream. Come, let us imagine boldly and worship together.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, I'm Zach Spencer, filling in for your music minister, Carolyn Bjerke. Today, I invite you all to rise in body or in spirit, as you're able, as we sing number 389, Gathered Here. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Sing it one more time. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near.
Oh my goodness. We get to invite a new life into our community on May the 4th, also known as Star Wars Day. This baby was born 7 months ago on October 3rd, and his parents resonated with the confluence. And so now I invite Matthew and Vanessa and their baby boy forward. Come, just stand here if you would. It is our faith that each child born is one more redeemer. We have long held that a child is born wholly good, and that all new life is a blessing to the world. It is not ours to sanctify our children's life, for they are already sacred. The force is already with them.
And now we're going to call the children to come forward and sit up front.
Come over this way. Come over this way. Yeah. Just a little bit. Over this way. This is going to be fun.
We dedicate ourselves to the sustenance and nurture of our children and their families, to love and cherish them in times of struggle as well as in gladness, to acknowledge the divine spark within each child, to weave a web of connections that will hold them close.
And we wanted you all to be here for this because some of you probably don't remember it. but we did this whole thing for you. Our names are special to us, the word to which we respond most deeply in our lives. Our names remind us that we are unique creatures and that we live in community with other named human beings. And so we formally ask the parents, what name have you chosen for this child?
Reed Joseph Hutchins.
In memory of Joe Hutchins.
May this name give you strength and always call you back to who you are. May it remind you that you belong here and that your life, Reed Joseph, is a blessing.
It's a blessing you were born, and it matters what you do. And what you know about God is a piece of the truth. Let the beauty of love be what you do, and you don't have to do it alone.
And so first, Reed, we bless you with earth. Good, clean dirt. May you know you are made up of the same stuff as the earth and the stars. May you always feel at home in your own body, for your body is good. Put down deep roots, play in the dirt, get muddy.
We bless you with fire.
Yeah, sure we do.
Let the light of this candle reflect that divine spark which burns always in your soul. Trust your dreams, and may light guide your way in the years to come.
We bless you with water, the holy water of this congregation gathered this fall in the mingling of the water service. As water ebbs and flows in your life, so too do your emotions and feelings. Play in the water, let it rain down upon you and rush by you in rivers. Drink deeply, jump in puddles. We bless you with air. Blow bubbles. Alrighty. We bless you with air. With each breath, may you know that you are connected to all living things. Breathe deeply. Blow bubbles. Run with the wind. I do this last one? Yes, no. And beauty. We bless you with beauty. Your world, dear Reed, will be full of beauty. The rose also has thorns, though this one doesn't, just for the record. And your life will have times of sadness and pain. May you always be surrounded by friends and family to help you through the trying times with love. We bless you now with beauty. It is our faith that each child born is one more Redeemer.
Will the congregation please rise in body or in spirit and speak the words of the dedication and blessing that's on the screen?
We the members and friends of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura, welcome you, child, into our community. We promise to build a community in which you will grow, surrounded by beauty, embraced by love, and cradled in the arms of peace. We will care for him, respect him, and teach him all the days in the spirit of love and justice. Amen. Blessed be. May the force be with you.
And now, as you're standing, if you would, form a bridge of love in the center. We will send the children out to their classrooms.
Followed by Reed and his family.
We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
Oh my gosh, what a delight. What a delight. Our offering, wait. Each Sunday, this congregation gives away our collection to an organization in the larger community or to funds that help people in our own church. Those of you at home have two ways to give. You can text to the word assist to the number that is on the screen, or the link to it will be posted in the Zoom chat. You here present have also two ways to give: text to give, or you can still write a check or give cash and put it at the box at the back of the service, after the back of the sanctuary after the service. Our offering today goes to, indeed, our own in-reach outreach funds, which do help the people who are in need in our community. On a recent Sunday, a visitor shared with a couple of folks that she was living in her car, which needed serious engine repair. She was stranded in a nearby grocery store parking lot where she'd already been staying for more than 20 days, and she was worried that the car would be cited and towed, and then what would she do with her belongings, and then also nowhere to sleep. And how very good it felt to be able to say, we can help. We can't do it all, but we can be part of the solution. And so we are. Our InReach Outreach Fund is donating a chunk toward the needed repairs, and some other people have donated some money, and the repairs are underway. And we also, I think, there was enough to help with a couple of nights in a hotel. And this is just one example of what it means to be that tapestry of love that we talk about, pooling our resources to provide help when it is needed. Thank you for giving generously, as you always do. We are ever and always grateful for the generosity of this congregation, which does weave a tapestry of love we call community through the generations and across our communities. Thank you.
Sharing with one another the great joys and sorrows that grace our lives is another way we weave that tapestry of love here in the congregation. We place a stone in water for each celebration or lamentation to represent the way each ripples out and is felt throughout our church family. You can submit a joy or sorrow via link on the website, uuventura.org, or in our Thursday email bulletin, UUCV This Week. Those received by 8 p.m. Saturday are usually shared that Sunday. I now invite you to speak into the gathered community or write in the Zoom chat the names of those you wish to celebrate, memorialize, or bring into the embrace of this beloved community. Reverend Dana will now place one final stone in the water for all the joys and sorrows just shared and those yet unspoken in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. May we be truly grateful for all that is our life.
Please remain seated as we sing our meditation hymn, Fuente de Amor, Spirit of Life. Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí y al corazón cántale tu compasión. Sopla al volar, sube en la mar, hasta moldear la justicia de la vida. Arrégame, libérame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Oh, the force arises in so many places, does it not? Our reading this morning is Just Hang Out and Be Religious by the Reverend Richard Gilbert. When ministers are charged with spiritually nurturing congregations, congregations should be charged as well to the mutual ministry. Today, I am eloquent in the pulpit and brilliant in the church school. And you are spiritually intoxicated with my wisdom. Next week, I stumble and bumble through my uncertainty and need your forgiveness. Today, I am a great rock of comfort in a weary land. Tomorrow, I am blown about as the sands of the desert and need the oasis of your strength. Today, I dazzle you with my perspicacity. Tomorrow, I forget our appointment. Blessed are they who minister, and blessed are they who are ministered unto. Blessed is the task of the minister, blessed by the task of the congregation, for ultimately they are one and the same.
I invite you now into a time of meditation. For a few moments, if you will, be with your breath. Feel it move in and through you and then out into the world. Feel the chair, the floor, the ground beneath you, the sturdiness of the earth itself cradling your precious lives. Notice the love that lies at the center of your beings and offer it up to this world, imperfect as it is, for like each of us, like the child we bless today, it and we are constantly changing works in progress, wholly deserving of the love that so powerfully flows within, through, and around us. A silent meditation.
This song is over 65 years old, and it's just as relevant today as it was when Mr. Dylan wrote it in 1964. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, and you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changing. Come writers and critics who prophesize with your pen, And keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin. There's no telling who that it's naming, for the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are a-changin'. Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall, for he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. For the battle outside raging will soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changin'. Mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand, for your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can't lend a hand, for the times they are a-changing. It is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will be later last, for the times they are a-changing, for the times they are a-changing. The times they are a-changin'.
May it be so. Sometimes I wonder what kind of audacity it takes to stand here week after week and presume to say something of meaning to you. If I thought about it that way all the time, I probably wouldn't be here. And it's not so much that I think you need to hear what I have to say. It's more that I am profoundly called to say it. And you are really kind. There are things that I think and feel that seem important enough that I cannot keep them inside me. And you have been gracious enough to hear me out, lo these 9 years. That you seem to think it is important too is something of a wonderment to me. It is always a grace. Ministry can be such a profound thing, such a swirl of give and take, presence, witness, speaking, and silence. As the Reverend Gordon McKeeman, former president of Starr King School for the Ministry, wrote, ministry is all that we do together. Ministry is that quality of being in community that affirms human dignity, beckons forth hidden possibilities, invites us into deeper, more constant, reverent relationships, and carries forward our heritage of hope and liberation. Ministry, he goes on, ministry is what we do together as we celebrate triumphs of our human spirit, miracles of life and birth, wonders and devotion and sacrifice. Ministry is what we do together with one another in terror and torment, in grief, misery, and pain, enabling us in the presence of death to say yes to life. We who minister speak and live the best we know, with full knowledge that it is never quite enough. And yet we are reassured by lostness found, fragments reunited, wounds healed. Ministry is all we do together. I share this now as you embark on the process of finding your next minister, for the times are changing everywhere, to remind you that ministry is more than a minister. It is a whole congregation. It is a shared endeavor. And it is also that it is so encompassing that no one person can be grand at all of it all the time, ever. Remember that. And for an example, I cast back nearly 200 years into Unitarian history for an example of two ministers, one still famous, the other mostly known by UU history nerds, Ralph Waldo Emerson and Barzillai Frost. Ministry was different back in the day. The minister had two basic roles, pastor and preacher, and even that was too much for some of them, as we will see. It's true the minister preached just about every Sunday, and sermons were 2 to 3 times as long as today. And so during the week, the minister worked mostly on his sermon and made pastoral calls to the members of his flock, and not actually a whole lot more. From our vantage point now, it does feel like a simpler time. There is so much more to ministry today. A minister works with boards and committees, meets with new members, is supposed to know something about budgets and administration, supervising staff, governance models, and religious education. And then there's community outreach and justice work, and now social media. Oh boy. And yet it was never especially easy. Case in point, Emerson, who lasted in a congregation for only 3 years, and Frost, who had a long tenure at First Parish in Concord, both in the first half of the 19th century when Unitarianism was still new in America. In 1838, Emerson famously, maybe famously mostly to seminarians and ministers, but famously addressed the graduating class at Harvard Divinity School, of which he was an alum. Emerson had served as the minister of Second Unitarian Church in Boston from 1829 to 1832. And by the time he addressed the Harvard grads, he had published his first book of essays. In the Divinity School address, Emerson decried the state of preaching in Unitarian churches of the time, using words like routine, extinct, and famine. He said, whenever a pulpit is usurped by a formalist, then is the worshiper defrauded and disconsolate. We shrink as soon as the prayers begin, which do not uplift, but smite and offend us. And then he really got going. He said, I once heard a preacher who sorely tempted me to say I would go to church no more. A snowstorm was falling around us. The snowstorm was real, the preacher merely spectral. And the eye felt the sad contrast in looking up at him and then out the window behind him into the beautiful meteor of snow. He had lived in vain. He had no word intimating that he had laughed or wept, was married or in love, had been commended or cheated or chagrined. If he had ever lived and acted, we were none the wiser for it. I will stop quoting there, but Emerson went on. And everyone in the room knew exactly of whom he was speaking. When he was not preaching in other churches or on the lecture circuit, Emerson was a regular attendee at the church in Concord, Massachusetts, which had recently called a new associate minister. Yes, Barzillai Frost. And just in case anyone missed it, Emerson deliberately used wintry imagery, saying essentially that the frost outside the window was more inspiring than the frost inside. My heart has always gone out to poor Barzillai. A new minister, really, he was a newbie, and he was so publicly dissected and criticized. I even named my last cat for him. Dear old Bars. History has not recorded Frost's response to Emerson's address. Much of the rest of the Unitarian clergy in Boston, whom Emerson was also criticizing, were outraged. And I just can picture the graduates that he was speaking to, idealistic and enthusiastic new ministers, being thrilled at Emerson's skewering of their elders. Must have been fun. And apparently, Barzillai Frost was never much more than a middling preacher. Yet he served in Concord for 20 years and was much beloved by his congregation as a tireless pastor who regularly called on the homes of those in his flock. Ironically, maybe, tellingly, in Emerson's own brief ministerial career, pastoral calls were his bane. He was a wonderful preacher, just not especially warm and cuddly. Once, a story goes, he spent an afternoon on a pastoral visit to a woman he thought was a member of his church, only to find out that it was a woman of the same name who belonged to a different church. When the visit was over, the woman suggested that Emerson find another line of work. And it was not long before he did. Emerson left the ministry for many reasons, personal, theological, practical, and his congregation was sorry to see him go. Yet leaving the parish ministry gave Emerson the latitude to pursue his calling more fully and become perhaps the first fully American philosopher. Had he stayed in parish ministry, he probably would never have done that. And so I tell you this story because, as if you haven't figured it out by present example, no one has all of the gifts of ministry in equal measure. Also, because you are already in the process of replacing me when I retire this June. And it is a natural human inclination to want someone who has has all or most of the qualities that you admire in past ministers, and none of those things that have irritated you and annoyed you. Two things, one of which you already know, though I repeat it for good measure. One, you can't have it all. And two, perhaps a slightly less obvious dynamic, ministers and congregations essentially create each other. You become something new together. Of course, there is anxiety in this moment. We've been together now for 9 years. You actually called me on May 1st, 2016. It's been utterly wonderful, and it has not been all smooth sailing. It is not supposed to be. And yet it has also been powerful and good and healthy and strong and meaningful and transformative. Starting just 6 months. Wait. We've been through so much together, haven't we? Starting just 6 months after you called me with the November 2016 election that felt like a sucker punch. How little we knew what lay ahead. And we have met it all together. And it's been wonderful, full of wonders. Of course, you are anxious. And this congregation will abide. You have been through all of this before, and this congregation has abided. The process ahead takes a while, partly because of the way UU congregations are organized and led. Different denominations deal with ministry differently. In Catholicism, the priest really is the church, God's representative on earth. Catholics can't get to God but through the priest who administers the sacraments. The structure is authoritarian and top-down, and the priests are appointed. Although we can perhaps thank God that UUs don't require a conclave. Methodist ministers change churches about every 3 years. They are not called by the church, but by the denomination. The people's loyalty in this theory, in this organization, the people's loyalty should be to the church, not the minister. If a minister stays too long, the confusion can set in. This makes it clearer that the minister, clearer, because it still happens, but it makes it clear that the minister is not the church. Under our congregational polity, that is clear too. The congregation in Unitarian Universalism, the congregation is the central locus of authority. And one of the things it gets to do is call its own minister. And the minister, called and installed, is not the only minister in the congregation. Our theology affirms what James Luther Adams, Unitarian theologian, called the prophethood of all believers. Not only is there no mediator between the people and their God, all are called upon to embody this faith in concrete ways, in their ways. And yet, once a minister is called and installed and stays any length of time, it's very easy to lose sight of the prophethood of all believers and rest ministerial authority in the minister with the title before her name. Part of the point of having an interim minister is for you to regain your understanding that you are the church. So here's what you can do in the interim time when the times will be changing. Come to church regularly. Listen well to what the interim minister shares about how they see you as a congregation. Part of the interim's job is to hold up a mirror and say, you know, this is what I see. This, when I see you, is that what you see? Is that what you want to see? So come to church, listen to the minister, and keep reaching out to one another. In joy, in sorrow, in lamentation, in great need, in celebration. And continue to be the church, having fun, making community, sharing your lives, being a community of resistance and resilience. And be kind to one another and forgiving of missteps. And through it all, may you be reminded of what and who the church really is. Go through the process, call yourselves up a wonderful new minister, and through it all, a wonderful new minister who's part Emerson, part Frost, part, I don't know, a little bit of me, a little bit of Reverend Jan, a little bit of Reverend David, a little bit of Reverend Dick, Reverend Frederica. There have been so many. Some of you have been here through all of those. Call up a fine new minister and create each other, create the congregation together, and be the church. Be blessed in your shared ministry. The times are a-changin', and you got this. Amen. May it be so. Please join me in prayer. Holy beingness of many names and no name that inspires many ministries. Spirit of life which dwells within and among and beyond us this day and always. May we be born anew with each day, with each child, with each new life that enters ours. May we remember the past, treasure the present, and envision a future going forward together. May we keep love at the center, ever and always. May we be strong and faithful and forthright. May we be kind and fierce and loving and justice-seeking. May we know that we are never alone. We have each other. There is a church, there is a community, and there is a love that will never let us go. And may all those who are ill find healing. May those who are in despair find hope. May those who are without shelter find home. And may those who are suffering conflict and war throughout the world, in Sudan, Ukraine, Congo, Gaza, Israel, and more, alas more. May we know peace. Amen. And blessed be.
I invite you all to rise in body or in spirit as you're able, as we sing number 131, Love Will Guide Us. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. If you cannot, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Please join me in reading the words on the screen as we prepare to extinguish our chalice here in the sanctuary. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. Those we carry into our lives until we are together again.
Everyone here in the sanctuary is invited for coffee, tea, bagels, conversation in Berg Hall, which is a community room through either sets of these doors. And there will be cake for Reed Joseph Hutchins. You can also drop by the connecting center and the connecting table where there will be people happy to talk with you, answer questions about the church, or Rob will be there to talk about game night. There's also a social action table where there's lots of information gathered about what we can do to be resilient, resisting peoples. I leave you with May You Be Changed by Emily Richards. May you leave this time together changed. May the promises you have made about who you want to be feel closer to the reality of who you are. May you share that feeling of transformation wherever you go. May it spread into every word, deed, thought, and interaction until we are all changed, transformed and transforming together, becoming our better selves. And so go forth in love, go forth in peace, and may the force be with you.
Thank